as part of the movie.
Baby Star.
Star is just practically a toddler.
It's true. Okay, we can't not start it. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay.
So, if you can't tell,
There's a lot of stars in the room. And we're not talking about us.
we're not stars yet. Well, actually, no, we're all stars. We are all.
I'm wrong movie. Sorry.
No, so obviously we're talking about
Encanto.
the Disney 100 masterpiece, Wish.
Which
That was not
great.
That was not played. For those on who are just listening and not watching the video on YouTube,
No, Star.
me and Jonelle did the SpongeBob imagination rainbow thing in sync, and it wasn't planned at all. We just burst into laughing, and then Megan joined us. We were done, trying not to feel left out on accident.
Well, Eric's trying to drop Star off my shoulder. Hold on. Okay.
But
I think we're good. My Star doesn't really like to stay that much. He's a rebel Star.
yes, and all of our merch
Is
obviously was from the Disney store.
This one's Lego.
This is Asha's house. I got this from Disney Movie Insiders, which is the new form of Disney Movie Rewards. It's a pop star. And then we got the shoulder plushes off of the Disney store. And as soon as this movie released, I was eyeballing the Disney store for this because I knew it was gonna come.
You know what I forgot to bring? So we had 5 stars.
Huh.
My Star popcorn bucket from the movie theater.
Upstairs. Come on. If you can't tell, we really like this movie.
We really like Star more specifically.
Did you guys want to go into talking about the movie first, or more about public reactions to the movie? Because this movie has been a little bit of controversy since its release.
One of them is the music, which...
Did we want to start getting into that now, or talk about the movie first?
Should we explain the plot to anyone who hasn't seen the movie Wish?
If you haven't, please watch it on Disney+.
It is on Disney Plus now.
Yes.
As of yesterday when we were with us recording.
With that being said, and you want spoilers, stay tuned.
Yeah, warning, I don't this movie has been more or less available for a long time. If you haven't seen it now,
Come back to this podcast after you watched it. Okay.
please do.
We'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, spoiler time.
Okay.
So, for those of you who just watched it, need a little refresher. It's about this woman named Asha who lives in this magical city of Rosas. It's an island where it's ruled over by this king called Magnifico, who basically has this magic power where he can
Grant people's wishes.
So there's this whole ceremony where when you turn 18 or you just move there, you give your wish to the king and he'll keep them safe. And so Asha ends up having this interview to become basically his apprentice, and she learns very quickly that even though there's thousands of wishes, he will only grant ones that he finds worthy to be
Safe.
worthy to be granted.
Yeah.
All of them are safe, but he'll only grant some of them because she wants her grandfather Sala's wish to come true, and the king is
Just turned 100.
Yeah. It's really important. And the king's no. And Asha's well, why don't you give back the wishes? And the king gets really mad. And Asha's oh no. And yeah.
And so Asha goes up to this tree and wishes on a star.
And then points to the wish plushes, the star plushes we have.
And ours light up.
Yes.
Well, Felon and Jonelle's do. Mine is just huggable.
This one's just cute.
So she sings this really good song, and Star actually comes out of the sky and starts behaving like a toddler, in Megan's words.
And it causes a bright explosion. Nothing like bad happens, but everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, that was cool magic!" I know this is really important because the king is like, "Oh my gosh, who did that magic? Oh my gosh, I'm being threatened." Okay, and then
And animals like this little guy, you can't really see him very well, starts talking. Mushrooms start singing.
there's like this whole musical
No, you
number
can't see
in
it.
the forest.
Cool. No, it was too blurry. Oh well.
God.
It's a little baby goat that's about 3 weeks old named Valentino, and he's just so funny.
And he has a very deep voice,
Yes.
surprisingly.
But, so obviously, like, Star has the magic. King feels threatened. Everyone thought this big flash was from the king. He ends up holding this public ceremony being like, someone threatened me.
And your wishes.
And your wishes, if anyone knows anything, give me, like, give me the information, and I'll grant you your wish.
And then Asha's friends help distract Magnifico while she sneaks into Magnifico's dungeon.
Because with Star, she's trying to free all of the wishes. and
Because
get
not
her
all
back.
of them can be granted.
Well, and the idea behind the wishes is that this is your heart's biggest act. It's your passion. It's what drives you. It's your life's. It's like what you want out of your life. Some people want to fly. Asha's grandfather wanted to create something that inspires the next generation. That's all he wanted. And when your wish gets taken from you, you literally become a dull person, not excited. You lose your drive, essentially. And Asha's like, no, that's not okay. People should have these purest parts of themselves. And Star gets really pissed off that people's wishes are being taken from them. So Asha and Star try to release all of the wishes to get them back to the people. And so that's where Asha's friends start to try and distract Magnifico so Asha can go free and Star can go free all the wishes. And one of Asha's friends, Simon, ends up turning her in and ends up getting his wish granted to be one of the king's knights.
He's the only friend that turned 18.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
his wish was already given.
Yeah, he had already lost his wish. And
Magnifico grants this wish, but he also uses dark magic.
to control him. And so,
To control the friend Simon.
yeah, the friends saying they can, like, mind control, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And
Then Magnifico realizes the power that comes from this and starts
And-
stealing people's wishes.
like,
Yeah.
and like in true classic Disney villain form, like literally becomes unhinged, and they end up defeating Magnifico and everything. Everyone gets their wishes back.
With a great musical at the end.
Big musical number. We're not doing like,
We're glossing over the songs because that's going to be its own discussion.
and I feel like we're not doing it justice. Like, the animation is gorgeous. The
I
voice
just-
acting is great.
Yeah, we're just going over
The story
the
beats.
plot really quick.
So, like,
I was going to say the music is something that is controversial.
Yes, sir. We'll get there.
controversial.
I can't speak.
But they end up defeating Magnifico. Everyone gets their wish, and then Asha, in the end, ends up becoming
A fairy godmother.
a fairy godmother or the fairy godmother.
I'm sorry.
Up for interpretation.
My
Fairy
favorite,
godmother.
And-
favorite character of all time is fairy godmother from Cinderella, and so the fact that this movie so heavily points to fairy godmothers, I am so jealous. I want to be a fairy godmother so bad.
So that is the plot of the movie. Now, before we talk about the controversies, we need to talk about how much we love this movie for a second.
I love this movie.
I love this movie. We saw it opening day, right?
Cried.
We saw it opening day and cried.
Sobbed, really.
It was, this movie hit a lot of, it hit me in a lot of different ways.
It felt like Disney giving a hug to like Disney fans.
It was like, their marketing for this movie was always, this movie was 100 years in the making. And well, yes, it is filled to the brim with Disney references. And I
That's
mean,
very true.
and I mean filled to the brim.
More towards the end, though, I would feel like.
No.
I feel like I saw more at the end, though. Maybe more than I acknowledged.
More than you probably realize.
Yeah.
But there are lots of references to other Disney films. Not, and we'll talk in this, but not in the way of like what Enchanted did. But this one was like paying homage to all the Disney films, but also striking the one thing that went through all Disney films, or most of them, and that was the concept of wishing on a star.
Let's talk about the opening scene. The book.
Oh,
The
yes.
book opening, as soon as I saw it.
Oh, that made my heart melt.
If you don't know, the old Disney films always opened with a storybook opening. Snow White
Once
did.
upon a time.
Snow White did it. Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Pinocchio, Sword in the Stone. They all did it, and this movie did it as well. And it's like the first real storybook opening we've seen since Enchanted.
And that one was kind of.
And ever since Enchanted, again, it's a different movie than this one. And we'll take a little bit to compare the two. But realistically, this is the first true storybook opening since those old Disney films.
Well, in the book, it was similar to all of the original Disney book opening.
Yeah.
Like, it had the same style.
The same like font.
It had that same place where the book sits.
Mm-hmm.
And
This star's plushie smells like vanilla. Sorry if I'm smelling it, that's why.
But this, like, aside from the Disney references, though, like, it made me happy because we all know that sensation of wishing on a star, knowing that one thing that drives us and everything. And it's that same theme through every Disney movie. And it was like what Megan said, a warm hug to a Disney movie.
To a Disney fan.
It went to Disney the company too. Like, you look at everything that this company has done as a whole. Like, hell, this company is what inspired our podcast, where we're getting to watch their media. And this just feels like the warmest hug to all its fans, new and
didn't this
old.
movie kind of like also help start the idea of this afterwards?
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah.
We should have done it for our 100th episode, but you know.
Once we saw it was coming to Disney Plus, we had to jump on it.
Yeah, literally the group chat was, what should we watch next? Wish! It's on Disney Plus.
But
Our group chat is unhinged, by the way.
very unhinged.
I'm
But
gonna make a star sticker for the group chat.
Ooh.
I can do that.
Do
But okay, we need to talk about the controversy because this movie has been pretty controversial, and Disney as a whole has been controversial
Yeah.
from before this movie and even till now.
And after
I
this
let
movie.
you live here for free, and I don't even, you don't even pay rent.
Oh my god.
So
That's one.
what's the controversy that you've been hearing, especially with the songs? I haven't heard much on the songs.
With the songs, it's that they're kind of stupid and redundant for the fact of I let you live here for free and I don't even charge you rent. That one is a big one that has spread across TikTok.
See, especially that song, because that song's called "This Is the Things I Get," and the whole idea was this is after Magnifico has this huge assembly of people to tell them, hey, that light was not caused by me. If you have any information, tell me. And they are a little bit greedy and are like, oh yeah, we'll be happy if you do another wish ceremony, even though you did one just the night before. And stuff, because everyone wants a chance to get their wish granted, and you're literally creating something that they hope for, you know?
Well, the controversies, a lot of them were built on people who hadn't really seen the movie. And so they were listening to the music and judging the music solely by itself.
So it's like music critique versus like.
Yeah. And they're just like, Disney, WTF is this because this makes no sense. And then, like, after we watched the movie, I'm like, the music makes sense now. Like, you need to watch it.
Any person should know, watching a musical of any kind, it's important to have the knowledge of what it's about. Don't bring up Hamilton.
No, I have something I want to say, but I'm going to hold it
You should
back.
have the context of what you're watching if you're going to listen to the soundtrack. If you listen to the soundtrack by yourself, it can be interpreted in so many different ways.
I was like, also, I'm a Star was another one because they're like, it was the watch out here I are wording in the, because it's like, I'm a star, watch out here I are. You know, how they're going in between different characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are still people who are critiquing it who haven't really seen the movie, and they're just like, what verbiage is this? Do you English Disney? But then when you watch it, you realize it's different characters.
It's also a deer singing it.
Yeah, it's animals, it's people,
It's plants.
yeah.
So let's talk about musical music. Because you can listen to, let's say Taylor Swift. Two of us here are Swifties.
Not me. So those two.
But like, most people, when you're listening to a music album, you can listen to a single, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, I love the song Lover from the Lover era.
Mm-hmm.
But if I listen to it by itself, it's like that song makes sense. But if you were to listen to Sean brought up Hamilton, Right at Hand Man, it's just a random song from the middle of the musical. It would make literally no sense.
Nope.
The whole point, I agree with what Sean said earlier. I grew up in a family that really loved musical theater. And there are some musicals that you can, like, take just one music song and just, like, oh, I get the whole story. Like, I don't know, Wicked is one of those musicals where you can, like, pick a song and listen to it and, like, understand, like, the dynamics between the characters. Kind of. But, like, the visuals of what happens in a musical changes how the songs are listened to. Like, I've been listening to the Wish soundtrack at work, which literally means I put on the, like, Spotify's, like, Disney hits music and just push play and don't watch. So I forgot that the animals were singing that, like, You Are a Star song. I thought it was all of her friends. And so when I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's a bunch of wild animals singing at Asha.
Mm-hmm.
It changes everything. I like that song more now.
That I love that song because even the premise of the literature. I remember this back in, I think it was either physical science my freshman year or biology my sophomore year of high school, where I literally got told, like, I was taught, because of what stars are made of.
Big theme in the movie, by the way.
It is a big theme of everyone's a star. So the whole purpose of the song is like,
We are
everyone,
all made of the same material.
yes, and it is partially scientifically true. We're all made of stardust. We are all stars, which is a huge plot point because Magnifico becomes absolutely unhinged by the end of the movie, and like he's literally like on the brink of like brutally destroying Asha. Has literally the people of the town like tied down with magic on their knees.
Like chain.
Yeah, chained to the ground. And
With magic. So it's
well, yeah, with magic. And like this they're singing a reprisal of the I don't remember I think it's what's the title of the song that was Make This Wish?
It's like the song that kind of continuously comes in and out.
It's the I Want song. It's
Yeah.
it's the part of your world, let it go, like it's that song.
This Wish.
This Wish. So they sing a reprisal of This Wish, and like they're changing some of the lyrics of like in the earlier in the movie when Asha first she goes, so I look up at the stars to guide me, and in the reprisal she goes, so I look at the stars just like me, looking at the people because they're all stars. And with that, they're eventually able to defeat Magnifico and everything because if Star is as powerful as Star is, and they're all stars, and go figure.
Okay. I'm gonna have to introduce my hot take.
Mm-hmm.
So we all have a mutual friend. Her name is Sarah, and I convinced her to watch this movie, and she said something to me that I now can't get out of my brain. And you two are bigger Disney nerds than Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
and so I want to pick your brains. This movie would have been better as a series.
No.
I just felt like when I was watching this movie last night, it felt so. I don't want to say rushed, but like.
I do think it could have been longer.
I felt like the pacing was a little strange.
When we first watched it, I felt like it went on forever, and it was great because
We were soaking it all.
yes, we were soaking it in like sunbathing in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. But the second time watching it through, I was like, I need more. I just need more.
I felt like the world that they created was so interesting. And like Rosas, the island, I wanted to learn more about it. I feel like everyone loved Magnifico. And he has this, we didn't talk at all about the queen, who is described to be like the most loyal. And she, like, when she saw her husband going crazy and use the like dark magic, she automatically went to like Asha and her friends. You know, just some teenage rebellion characters. And was like, yeah, my husband's messing up, so I'm gonna help you.
She also acknowledged at the beginning of the movie how much Asha cared about the people.
Yeah, it was like really interesting, and I really wanted to know more about like her and her husband, and like
I want to know more about the past that Magnifico had.
right, I because he's like known as this great ruler, right, and so. And he was like beloved by everyone before he went totally crazy. I wanted to know more of that history of like how he.
Well, he also talks about like hardships and how he doesn't want things to happen again.
Yeah.
Well, that's given in the storybook entrance. They talk about it during the storybook opening.
Yeah.
Well, we want more.
I know.
And I also want to know about Asha's friends. Like we see like little glimpses of their friendships, but I want to see like. I wanted to know
How each of them developed.
Yeah, like how did they all become friends? Like, how is Gabo a part of the friend group? No one seems to like him.
So,
why is Sal obsessed with the chickens?
Can we talk about the introverted friend?
That one friend who just kind of appears out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I relate. Well, like, I want to know how they got together. I want to know why Magnifico has someone who is designated to making his space on cookies.
She's just a baker.
Yes, but why does she only make his space on cookies?
It's not only she makes, she's just the only one who makes them.
You never see her make anything else.
Because that's less of a plot.
He's probably obsessed about the chickens because of the cookies.
She also loves him. Like, she says it many times.
I don't know, I just wanted more.
I think... I guess I'm not hung up on the idea of wanting more. Like, yes, I would want to know more. But I also feel like I have a lot of questions for a lot of Disney movies in the same way, you know? Like, let's take the animated Beauty and the Beast. We never heard anything about Belle's mother.
Except for in the live action one where she got sick.
Yes, but it's still the same idea. There's always going to be stuff we want to know more about. And I agree that it was a high-paced movie. Like, it moved fast. I will say that. And it could have been a little bit longer, but I don't think it would work as a series.
I think it was because it is a kids' movie and they're trying to keep kids' attention. And with Star being childish and adding in all these funny scenes,
but
that helps keep children engaged.
I still think... I think the part that could have been drawn out a little bit more would have been the beginning. Because I feel like the rest of the movie was paced pretty well. It's just the beginning got running so fast. You know?
See, for me, I feel like the beginning was actually pretty slow compared to the rest of it. I feel like the end was very fast.
I could see that too.
I guess I wanted to see more about like how we just lost the ruler of this country. And they're like, yeah, the queen will handle it.
The Queen's has not been MIA for the history of the country here. She's been there with the King. Because the King was primary, yeah, but that doesn't mean she wasn't Queen.
I mean, yeah, but like, it'd be great to know what the people thought of the Queen because we only heard about the King.
I mean, yeah, well, like, I don't think they love the Queen just as much, but the King was showman. You know, he was the one with the
the
magic.
greatest showman.
Okay, so I had a stupid thought
Mm-hmm.
when I was watching it again, and it revolved around. I don't know why I kind of related the wishing upon a star to the American dream.
Yeah, that's all Walt's thing.
Yeah.
Walt was
so-
super proud of America.
So, the tree that Asha is singing this wish on, that tree is a reference to Walt. Because Walt had a tree in Marceline, Missouri that was his wishing tree. That's where that tree references. That's Walt.
I was like, just around like the whole theme of the movie, though. Like, I started like thinking about politics. This is, I know. This is where my business brain freaking went. But it was like, a lot of us here, we have dreams, and like especially in our generation, and we see our older generations having this great luxury life that they built for themselves, and how a lot of us that are now younger are trying to wish to have a life like that, and now we're held behind and we're struggling.
Yeah.
I think that's why I feel at home with Disney movies. Because, yeah, this movie was built around the idea of wishing upon a star. But that's through all of Disney's movies. Even Snow White. I'm wishing.
For the one I love to find me
Yeah,
today.
yeah, Pinocchio. I wish I was a real boy. Tiana wishing. I don't know what she wished for.
For
It was the restaurant, right?
restaurant?
Yeah.
Tiana's place?
But like it's that constant theme of wishing, having this what you want from your life, this passion, this big dream that drives you. And Disney has always shown that through all of their films, and it's always been there. And I feel like it honestly is a big part of where that's gotten me to where I am today.
I was like, here's the second part of this. Because, okay, side note, y'all are going to learn about my homework real quick. Obviously, wishing is something you hold dear to your heart that you believe. Okay, now we're going to get into my homework. I have to write a paper called a why statement on what I believe and how I'm going to achieve that, or how I am doing that, to what I am doing for the why I am doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole wishing upon what you believe, hold dear in your heart, is the why. And right now, I'm really struggling. I have thoughts of like many whys that I might have, or many wishes, many I believe statements. But then I'm just like, how is there like a true core value? And so this is where you guys come in. Do you know your whys or your wishes or your beliefs?
I mean, I feel like I used to describe faith as like trying to find a light switch in a corner. Like, it's there. You believe in something, but you just gotta find it in a dark room. I find that I know the simple words to express my beliefs. But if you were to like really prod and pride me about it, I would probably just stare at you very awkwardly.
I was like, I just find it kind of funny because also this paper is really short. It's 2 pages long, double spaced. And I'm supposed to write it, and I'm just like.
But recently, in my own personal life, they used to know about it. There's a reason why I wake up in the morning. I can't really say it on this podcast, I'm pregnant. Woo! So all the times I've been sick before, that is why.
If you couldn't have guessed it by now.
I'm so excited.
I have a little star in my tummy. Woo!
What?
Like that has to make 5 stars.
Ta-da! So like before it was like just the reason I did what I did was to make me and Sean have a happy life. Because we were married. Before Sean, I didn't really have a reason. I kind of just existed. And I'm not saying that Sean like cemented things, but like I learned and grew as a human, and Sean just happened to slide into my life, and like we continued to like live our lives parallel to each other before we got married. But now we have this family unit, and so all my dreams are for making our lives, my life, Sean's life, baby's life, and Jonelle's life.
I'm included in the life.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
This is the part where we kick Jonelle off the podcast. I'm kidding. Like, the best for all of us, right?
So, for me, really quick, before we switch to a new topic, because normally whenever we get onto a topic, 2 people respond, and then we end up moving on, or the third to respond. My goals in life have always been pretty consistent. Like, I wanted to be a dad long before I even met Megan.
And to be fair, I didn't always want to be a mom. I thought I would mess it up.
I've always
And then makes me a toddler.
I've always wanted to be a dad.
Right now I'm unsure.
I've always...
But she is going to be.
My job right now is a nursing assistant. Like, me right down to it, I like taking care of people. I'm a caregiver by nature. So...
And I wanted to be a pastor. Now I'm a toddler teacher.
So that's my big thing. Like, you know how many times have I been with you on the phone talking you through crap?
Please don't break Jonelle's things.
I mean, we just shop built it together, and I have the cottage at my house, so it's okay.
But like, I like helping people. I like helping my friends if they need someone to talk to. I like taking care of people when they're in need.
And Sean just looked at me because those pregnancy has been pretty rough so far.
I think I like helping people discover, because I realized I spend a lot of time trying to explain things to people to help them better understand.
Like, I'm with a bunch of, like, we just renegotiated our union contract, and...
Congratulations.
Thank you.
They got some great things going on in their life. I got a lot of therapy. And Mr. Chef not talking to me for 2
But,
weeks.
like, we just finished negotiating our union contract after threatening a strike and everything, and it's like, I was able to stand up for the people that were comfortable standing up and raising them up to have a voice. I'm doing a lot at work and everything, and I get to come home and take care of my family. Like, that's what it is for me.
I'm gonna help the next generation connect with like their emotions, and like
You get to give people jobs.
you're not as good people jobs. Yeah, I feel like we all help. Like,
I don't know. I don't feel like I help people get jobs. Like, I help the
You
business.
give people jobs. You create the jobs for the people.
How?
well, you make sure people get paid.
You're the one that
I
hires
don't
them.
pay
You
well.
will be the one that hires them.
I mean, I want to be the person that hires them. And I want to be the one that opens. Okay. Well, I guess we figured out my why.
But anyways,
Is this
back
a
onto
podcast?
Wish.
Is this a podcast or my homework session? Hold up, let me get my laptop.
So, when it comes to Wish, the controversies I have always heard, I feel like...
Oh wait, I have one. I have a controversy. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh shit.
I have.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
You know how many times you swore on this podcast?
I know.
I want to apologize for my pregnancy brain because I forget things really easily. I'm a goldfish now.
That's okay. Speak your little goldfish mind.
Thank you. The controversy I was hearing over and over and over again. You know how there's like that chat GPT thing? Generally, yeah. So it's like this thing where you can input words.
It's AI. It's an AI.
Well, one of the controversies I've heard that someone just inputted all the Disney movies. ever in existence into ChatGPT, and Wish was basically what was spit out. Like, make a Disney movie based off of these Disney movies.
Okay, nope, you've unlocked my rant. Star any dream movie.
And now I'm just gonna go hide what I know now.
Okay,
I'm
So-
trying to fix Asha again because I
so
keep playing with the Legos. Oh,
So,
there's a carrot.
let me get through my whole thing before you guys add in, okay? So on that particular topic, I get so frustrated. People thinking this is just a movie based off of a bunch of other Disney movies. No, that was Enchanted. Enchanted was a Disney movie made to make fun of itself. It is full of Disney references because it is self-aware
And
Disney-
cheeky.
cheeky, yes, and it is Disney making fun of itself. Wish is not that. Wish, yes, is packed with Disney references. Asha's friends are literally based off of the Seven Dwarfs in personality, names, and color scheme.
I just realized who's
All of them,
Wow.
all of them are the Seven Dwarfs, and there's hundreds more of Disney references, including hidden Mickeys. And
Okay, I'm gonna go watch for Hidden Mickey.
I'll show you a thing after we're done. But you can't expect a movie that is supposed to celebrate the 100 years that Disney has had as a company and all of the films that it has produced without talking about the others. Everything that this company has built off of. Thank you, fireworks. I don't know what causes these things.
Oh, there was a lot boom.
Yes.
Okay, also there was a thumbs up that showed
Yes.
up. Why?
I don't know how these things pop up. But
I was gonna see if they're gonna show up again.
But no, like you can't expect these references to not be made. Like that would not be doing the company justice for celebrating 100 years in well over 100 movies. So I get really frustrated when people say it's just an AI that does whatever, because I can see how much thought Disney put into this. Like the directors actually have a wall with a timeline on it of every Disney animated film that they have ever created on a timeline. And they would look at it, and that's how they came up with what this movie was about. Wishing on a star, your heart's desire. Literally, that's the underlying theme for that happily ever after fireworks show in Disney World. And I honestly think that the flack that Disney has been getting recently has nothing to do with Disney's content. I honestly think it's just a bandwagon. Because, yeah, Disney does create, not all Disney films are great. I will admit that.
Yeah.
Strange World comes to my mind. Chicken Little,
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
I
The
liked
The Black Cauldron was a huge bust.
Still a good movie.
It's still a good movie. But
in recent
In-
woke Disney.
I genuinely think that people. Me and Megan once had a conversation a long time ago regarding video games, specifically around Pokemon, where everyone's going to judge whatever new Pokemon game comes out to the Pokemon game that is their favorite, because nothing can be better than what their favorite is. You remember this conversation, right?
Yes.
And people are, so no matter what they come out with, it's not going to be your favorite movie, so it's automatically less than. And yeah, the political climate in America right now ain't so hot. It ain't good.
No.
Tell me where there is a great political climate. I'm going to move there. Send out the comments.
According
But
to
it's-
TikTok, it's anywhere but the United States.
But Disney realistically hasn't changed that much. Yes, the Chapek era, I was not a fan of Chapek and his decisions. Not in the slightest bit. And I was ecstatic, and I'm still ecstatic that Iger is here. But
I'm ready
This-
to see some more business changes.
Mhm.
But Wish has nothing to do with the other controversies. Wish is a good movie. Elemental was a good movie.
It's a fantastic movie.
The real question is, do you think they kept adding to this movie, like in the Disney Vault, like for years of like, in 100 years, this is what we'd like to show people.
I just always thought it was like cumulative, like everything that we've learned up until now is like.
Like, say they had ideas from 100 years in the making, and then.
Awesome. Like, imagine this is like it was a script that Walt left. It's like, I wanted to make this movie, but it couldn't happen.
That was the Snow Queen.
That was Elsa!
Frozen was the Snow Queen. They wanted to make the Snow Queen an actual movie, but that took years to get off the table, and that's what Frozen came to be.
And no one liked Frozen at all.
Let it go!
But
Jeez.
what I like about, like, yeah, there wasn't some hidden script, or there wasn't something of, like, we're building to this, but they literally took the heart of all of their movies, this little star, and that was what the movie was about. They literally found the essence of what makes Disney, Disney, and celebrated that concept in a movie while referencing all of the things that this company has been able to do in everything that it's made. It does live up to its name of being a movie 100 years in the making. Because it's the heart of the company celebrating all of its achievements and what this company is about.
I'm going to add on to what I have to say. As
Sorry.
long as you say.
You guys can go and add on now.
So-
I finish my review.
No, you're fine.
Like, we've alluded that we watch a lot of YouTube. Okay, so I watch a lot of YouTube, and then I rope Sean into doing, and we have this channel that we love. It's called Cinema Therapy. And it's a man named Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist, Alan Seawright, unlicensed filmmaker.
Yep.
And they do, like, therapist reacts to XYZ movie, and I can't remember which video it was from. But Alan made this thing where he was like, listen, Disney corporate is not always something that we agree with, but Disney creative knows how to pull out the heartstrings.
Yep.
And I feel like this movie was a celebration of Disney creative. We love the Imagineers. We love the story writers. We love the people who produce music. And we have Miranda, I love you.
They did so many good things with this movie. The animation alone, I love it.
There's nothing else quite like it. It's like
The animation is very different compared to it. It's almost like looking at yarn. That was my first.
oh yeah,
It's like watercolor.
oh,
Like, it's not two-dimensional.
It's like rope and yeah.
Like, it's really weird, but
it's like Asha's hair texture is my favorite thing about the movie.
Oh.
And the way that everywhere that Star goes, there's sparkles.
Yes. Sequels.
Yes.
Yes. We love Star. Also, what's one of your favorite scenes of Star's child? Like,
Oh.
The one where he makes the mustache and he sneaks off.
Yeah, the mustache.
Or where he copies, I can't remember the goat's name,
Valentino.
Valentino's like little outfit.
See, my other favorite one is anytime Star gets angry, because it's this cute little face getting like pouty, grumpy, like I'm gonna fight you. Like, it's so
And
fucking
Asha has to
cute.
like just keep calling him back.
So
Yeah.
cute.
Star is just a toddler.
But
I liked the yarn.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
and like, this movie is hilarious. It's a really funny movie. There's lots of funny jokes in it. Valentino, I think, is the funniest character verbally. Just watching, it's definitely Star, because Star doesn't speak at all.
I think
The chicken scene was pretty funny, but that's more of like the overall funny scene.
But, and I really did like the music. The music did a good job at, like, this Wish is such a powerful song, so well orchestrated. Like, I can't help but, like, get hit in the feels listening to it, how much that builds. And then, of course, the credits, when they show, like, the Stardust outlines of all of them.
Oh, the Disney characters.
Well,
Every time I
a
see it,
representation of like most of it.
oh no, it's the Disney characters themselves. Like, you see Snow White, like, they show one Disney character from every movie. It's from the last every animated movie from the last 100 years. and that, especially the song they chose for that, like again,
I'm really sad through the credits.
I did last night too when we watched it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't know.
Was I not there?
You were about to tell me not to watch it, and I said no, I'm watching it.
We have to give credit to the accounting people.
Literally, whenever I watch movies now, I just think of, yo, shout out to accounting because of Janelle.
Yeah, because Charlotte wants us to stay, and I'm like, all right, fine, we're gonna stay for accounting, and then we're like, woo, go accounting, woo! Those people who sit in the office and they count the numbers, go you!
Yeah.
You made it possible.
They do it for accounting. I do it for the musicians.
I do it for the costume designers.
It's the first you've ever said this.
I'm sorry. For live action, I think it's really interesting about like people who do costumes. I got a sewing machine for Christmas. I haven't touched it yet, but I want to learn how to sew. But I'm awful with the machines, so I have to start. Now that you guys know, there's gonna be a lot of baby references.
But no, this I really do love this movie, and I wish people would give it a chance. Like, it really is a very beautiful movie.
Now the real question is, how many times have you watched it since it's now been released on Disney Plus?
Once.
Only once right now, because I've been resisting.
It's like how Usha and I haven't
Suckers.
watched the Eras tour because we're gonna do an Eras tour episode. We haven't watched it because we have to watch it with Joanelle first.
I'm not a Swiftie. I'm sorry. I can appreciate some of her music, but
But you can appreciate the costumes, which are bedazzled.
The costume. Okay. Save any of your comments so you actually see the full one.
We'll have popcorn.
can Disney Plus post a Post Malone concert and we can watch that?
That means we can watch
Hold
K-pop band.
Hold on. No, we need to address this. The Eras tour has only been a one-time deal. I don't remember why we agreed to it. I remember I originally said no, because this podcast is for Disney's media. So even Hulu is now merged with Disney Plus, does not mean we're going to start doing Hulu stuff. This is not a Disney Plus podcast where anything on Disney Plus goes. It is just Disney's media.
I think Megan said yes on this.
Plus the Eras tour.
And then
I
also
said
we
yes.
thought it was a funny idea if the non-Swiftie had to react to Swift.
Yes.
Yes. It'll probably also be the video because it'll probably be the special one before I go on maternity leave.
It'll be coming at some point. We got to figure out our schedule. But
How would you guys like to these two react to Once Upon a Time? Let us know in the comment section below because I can't watch it. I have a lot of trauma. Yeah.
But we'll get that when we get there. But do you guys have any other thoughts for Wish?
I have
Star.
I love Star too.
Let's talk about Asha. We've talked about like Star a lot. A lot. And don't get me wrong, love and support for this little bean. What did you think of Asha, the main character? She's like the one where we see it. She's like honest.
She's relatable.
She's so relatable. And not in like one of those like like the Anna turning red, like quirky relatable, as in just like someone who steps in, like gets into an awkward situation with, just the ruler of a country and has morals and does something about it. And it's not like.
But she also has things like she has a lot of anxiety. She has a lot of grief put upon her.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, she behaved in a way like any other person would.
Most other people would.
Generally speaking, I don't expect a lot of people to be rising up to get people back their wishes. But this is she had an interview with the king, and she was like, I'm so nervous, and then forgetting to talk.
It's my fifth goal.
She's also the first one to really question the king when she found
Yeah.
She was very open-minded, or very curious.
Curious, but also blunt.
Mm-hmm.
My type of gal.
But
I'm not blunt, by the way. I sugarcoat everything, so.
But like, I feel like she learned so much in this movie, and her motivation grew from what it originally was. Yeah, it originally wasn't all about her grandpa. Like, she did break into the castle and just steal her grandpa's wish, and then escaped.
And then she wanted to go back to her
But
mother's.
then she made. Well, no, remember the king.
Then
They like destroyed the mom's wish, but she still went back and freed all of the wishes. She grew as a person. She hit rock bottom of literal watching this unhinged king getting like absolutely like mad with power, was literally being like thrashed around, watching all of her friends and the other citizens of the city that she loves chained to the ground in magic.
Asha's just cool and I like her. Now dating her.
I want to talk about Valentino for a second. We haven't talked about him yet. He's so funny.
I have mixed feelings about animal companions. I watched a lot of Barbie movies growing up. I know these two relate. I know that one relates. I'm pretty sure you're.
I've watched Barbie movies. We watched Barbie movies.
Oh yeah. In college.
The 12 Dancing Princesses.
Oh my gosh, so good. No, we are not coming out with the Barbie movie podcast. Although.
No. Come on.
No.
Okay.
So,
Sorry. But like, animal sidekicks either are like really great at making a movie or are the dogs from Diamond Castle.
besides Wish, Valentino had a comical relief.
But like, I feel like there was enough comical relief for children. Like, my butt found it. And like,
He's a 3-week-old goat. What do you expect?
but also like, the minions are also like comic relief.
What is?
Minions?
Oh, like like DreamWorks minions.
Yeah. But they're comic relief and they're also like,
But I think there's still two different comparisons. Like,
I don't know. What I'm saying is, I think he was great for all people to appreciate his sense of humor, not just like the babies.
I think Valentino, the best way I can describe his humor is like it's exactly what you would expect out of a goat that wasn't able to communicate with humans, because in this world animals don't talk until Star starts making them able to talk, and then it's exactly how you would expect. Like, Valentino is very honest about his reactions to everything. Like
He made a Zootopia reference.
the thing where she said, like, oh yeah, my butt found it. It's literally because he was scratching his butt on a piece of unsanded mahogany wood, and it just fell over, and that's what led over into a secret door that would lead Asha to her friends.
A secret tunnel.
And Asha's like, oh yeah, nice find. And he goes, oh yeah, my butt found it. Like, he's not wrong. That's what happened. It was just brutally honest.
We all have cats. I'd be so scared for what our cats would say to us. If they.
I would laugh because Percy, like, when I enter the house, my cat looks at me at the stairs and then he's like, meow. And I know it's to go up to our bedroom and hang out.
Our cats would just be like, food. But dad, I'm hungry. But dad, give me food.
Okay, one of them I feel like would just say, don't move me, I own you, bitch.
Which one? Sora?
Yeah, Percy just wants to hang out in bed all day and just, like, he doesn't even want to, like, cuddle or anything. He just wants to sit and stare at me. And he would be in his own world, I would be in my own world, and then he just sits there and purrs.
But
Cats.
so before we close out, what was your guys' favorite Disney reference?
I got mine.
What?
I can't remember his name, but the friend who represents Dopey.
Yes.
He gets really happy and his ears flutter.
When Asha had the wand and was in her carriage, well, like the carriage thing, and then it started crawling up
Oh my gosh, that was
the legs.
For me, it would have to be while Magnifico, he's like in the state of like destroying wishes. And there's 2 wishes specifically where you see one and it's very obviously Peter Pan. And he goes, oh, a floating like island in the side. How about Neverland? And crushes it. And the next one he goes, oh, the perfect nanny for your like awful children. Popping it because it's Mary Poppins, and I think that's probably my favorite one because it's like right there.
Oh my gosh! But like, this is the thing I get. I don't know. I think it's like B tier, like villain song. The little Hunchback of Notre Dame, little like
Oh my god, the little figures, yeah.
little figures are running around. I couldn't stop laughing.
It wasn't like a good villain song compared to the others,
Like
I
Poor
like-
Unfortunate Souls.
but like it's still not like it's not a bad song. It's a little it's pretty humorous.
Also, we just learned how to light up Star, and I've been obsessed with it since Sean has showed me.
Yeah,
Because, not gonna lie, when we first got it, we started beating
we were
Star.
literally like punching it, unable to like. Only for me to find out earlier today that it's just a little.
You know what? You're on his arm.
Boop, boop.
I'm so sorry for beating you up, Star, but I just wanted to know how to go.
But I think y'all have a clear consensus that this is. Would you say A or S tier?
S.
I would honestly agree it's an S tier.
I don't know. It like straddles the line for me.
It's definitely not a B tier movie.
Oh no. I definitely say it's high A, low S,
Mhm.
and the
So A+.
A plus tier for me. But it's also like I'm easy to please, but it's also really hard to be an S tier for me.
Yeah.
Like I love Elemental. It's a B tier.
But I think this is truly like one of Disney's best films in a long time. And if you haven't watched it, please do. And if you have watched it and you're not that impressed, that's okay. But try to have an open mind about it. Like there's a lot to appreciate about this movie, and just don't run the bandwagon.
And if you're not a big Disney fan and are watching this podcast, grab someone who is a big Disney fan.
Mm-hmm.
Bring them, sit next to them, and ask them like about like what references do you see, what things do you like notice, and just have them talk your ear off because they'll just be like, "Oh my gosh, double ears! Oh my gosh, like it's not even thinking."
And then you can be entertained.
Yes,
Yeah.
Disney adults, you if you're not a Disney adult, you can entertain yourself with Disney adults.
oh yeah, Disney adults get bad rep, and I feel bad.
Yep.
Because we're Disney adults.
Anyways,
We should probably get going.
I got to do sadly.
yeah.
I have a baby to grow.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
And make your wish down in the comment section below. We'll keep them safe, I promise.
Well, genuinely, like, tell us your wishes in the comments. Like, what's your biggest dream?
My biggest dream is to be a good one.
We're still figuring it out.
We're young. We got time.
Yeah.
I'm older than these two.
That is also true.
You
But
the
anyways.
youngest.
I am young.
He's the baby.
Bye.
Bye.